Welcome to Back Cover, the podcast that explores the classic soul music of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I'm Karen Williams. Join me and my co-host Steve Williams, and no, we're not related, as we flip over the album covers and share stories of the movers and shakers that created, wrote, and produced those classic soul sounds. We'll educate and entertain you, all while keeping the music alive. Today we're talking a lot of music. We start off with Aretha Franklin and revealing a song that very few of us have heard about, and it appeared on her Columbia album. This is way before she went to Atlantic and had a string of hits. Then we talk about Jet Magazine and the Soul Brothers Top 20 and how that list was different from the Billboard Top 20. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. But anyway, yeah, so I would like to hear how she sang, because they said, she was as good at 14 as she was, later on.
I believe that.
They said she was just born that way.
I believe that. Columbia just didn't know what to do with her.
Right.
Because they thought they put her under the umbrella of jazz, and she was not a jazz singer at all. Now she did have one minor hit with Columbia. Let me see if I can pull it up. She had one minor hit with Columbia, and I think it didn't do anything, but it did land on the charts. Wow. It landed on the charts. Now where it went, nobody knows. It didn't go up. But she really didn't come out until she started recording in 1960, and she didn't really have a hit to the late 60s.
Right. Respect.
A major hit.
Respect. What was her first one? Was it Natural Woman or Respect? I'm
not gonna lie and tell you it was, because I can't put my finger on that. It was the first album she recorded for Atlantic.
It was with her picture on it, right? That real big with her picture
yeah,
on it?
I believe she had on a green turtleneck or something like that.
Ah, I think I have a picture of that.
Oh?
Yeah. Because was it called, no, that can't be it. Aretha Now?
Nope.
Okay, then. Well, that's not it.
Keep looking.
1968. 1967 Dr. Feelgood came out.
Okay.
In 1967.
Columbia tried to put her in a package of being a jazz artist because she played her own piano. But what's missing is the funk of Atlantic Records and the Muscle Shoals sound behind her.
True, but I like this sound behind her because it's sort of, like you said,
jazzy. A
little jazzy, but it's still got that bluesy kind of flavor.
That's because of her.
Right.
Not the musician.
No, she put it in with the piano.
Right.
And her voice.
See?
But I like that combination.
That's 1960. I don't think, on the R&B chart, well, they still call it black charts then.
Right.
I don't think the thing peaked out at number 14, if it went that far.
That's because
it had no bullet behind it.
Right, because it wasn't raw kind of enough.
No, that ain't it.
What?
It didn't get no airplay.
Why? That's a nice song.
Remember, what happened to her happened to Sam Cooke as well. She was still connected with the church, and when you leave, they don't support you at all. They want you to.
But there were enough people who would have supported her outside of the church.
Remember this, her father took her to Columbia.
Right.
She auditioned because her father got her the audition.
Right.
He saw the vision.
Right.
You can sing. One is your job and one is your passion. According to Reverend Cook, that's what he told Sam.
Right.
One is your job. You're singing for the people.
Right.
That's your job. Secular.
Right.
But you singing in church.
Because that's your passion.
That's your passion. And Aretha did them both. Aretha, Sam, Ray Charles, they all did them both.
Right.
Lou Rawls, Jerry Butler, I can go on. Now, you know the deal. Atlantic, Muscle Shoals Studio.
Right.
The Swampers.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys were funky, man.
I got you.
See, a lot of people think just because you white, you don't have no soul.
No, that's not true.
Oh, but see, them country boys.
Right.
And they was just look at Booker T and MGs, 2 white guys, 2 black guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's about the feeling.
The feeling.
It's the feeling.
Right. I mean, look at Sly and Family Stone.
It's the high.
Well, yeah, they were kind of high, but they have feeling. Look at Rod Temperton
from England.
I mean, he wrote some of the best songs.
Yeah, he wrote them.
Yeah, I didn't say he could sing them, but I mean, he still had the feeling. Look at Average White Band. They funky.
Oh, yeah, to be from overseas.
Scottish.
Whatever. They could have been high.
Why do you say that?
Scotland makes some, what's the name of that whiskey they make? Scottish whiskey?
Scott. Going back to Aretha.
But Aretha was dynamic, man. Because her father just pushed her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, singing in the church from all those old folks, she was on the platform every Sunday. So there you go.
And that's how she developed her stage presence.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, this is Dr. Vanessa Allen McLeod, and I'm just riding and listening to Aretha, and I've never
Have you ever heard that?
I've never heard that song before.
Didn't you like it?
I loved it.
I loved it too, Vanessa.
So much. What's the name of the song?
Last night I sang a love song, but today I'm singing the blues.
There's no other voice
range
like Aretha. And I could tell that was her young voice.
Yes. Because it was a little bit smoother. It wasn't quite as mature.
Right, but it was clear.
It was clear because she had not started smoking yet.
Okay. Lord have mercy.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah, it was clear.
It was clear.
Because I listened to Aretha, mimic Aretha. You know how we all would just get the broom or the brush handle?
Right. Come on.
And, like Ain't No Way and Daydreaming, and I'm thinking, those. But I've never heard that song before.
And I love it.
Now, here's something you should know. While recording back in those days, you didn't have what was called a producer. There was a songwriter, and then there was the band. Now, what happened at Muscle Shoals, they took a good month and a half, and it was, for instance, the song, You're No Good, Heartbreaker, You're a Liar, and You Cheat.
And the cheat,
What was happening, they were bored that day. They were bored. The studio, the air conditioning went out. They had fans down in hot Alabama. And Aretha was just playing with the piano, and all of a sudden she came up with a riff because she was just bored. Dum, da-dum, da-dum.
Right.
And the guitar player started playing with her. So back then, they really had to make up a song. They had the lyrics, but they had no music. So they had to make the song up. Girl, if you could hear all the different takes that Motown did on other songs, sometimes it takes 20 takes, and back then they didn't have no computer. You just started over.
You just start from the beginning.
From the beginning. Take 99, bam.
but look at their creativeness. They were true artists.
That's why I say today's people are cheating, because they're taking the music that somebody else came up with
and just saying,
and just going all over it.
Yeah.
And it sounds horrible when they do that,
because they take the authenticity from it.
What is a juke joint what's the difference between a cafe and a juke joint?
Think fast now. Well, think slow.
Now, back in the day, when the clubs would close, they would go to a place out in the boonies called the Roadhouse. And they would sell you the setups, but you'd have to BYOB. Is that it?
Nope.
He make me sick.
Candy, don't hate because I know when you don't. There is one difference between a cafe and a juke joint.
What?
Okay, I'm waiting on somebody else to call me because I know it. Don't nobody know, or if they know,
they don't know. They know.
Okay, here we go. The difference between a cafe and a juke joint is one thing. Well, two things rather, but the most important thing about a juke joint, it ain't important. The juke joint is usually on the outskirts of town. You were right about that.
The roadhouse.
What? Wait, no, wait, that's the white folks' roadhouse. We had juke joints. All right. Wait a minute. Don't argue with me. Let me get it out. All right. And the difference between the juke joint, on the other hand, cafes were other French word for restaurant.
Right.
So the cafe had to be licensed, number one, to serve food, and number two, it had to have an inside operating bathroom.
Oh.
See, I told you.
You're right, but I'm going to tell you something else.
I don't want to hear nothing else. Bye.
Bye. Made me sick.
You were sick anyway.
So I still love y'all.
I love you too. See, some people just don't know.
I know.
They knew.
But they didn't know.
They didn't know. You can't call it a juke joint. Well, you can call it a juke joint because usually most juke joints had outhouses. But they weren't legally serving food. But cafe was served. Yeah, right.
Guess who got a new album out?
Who?
You will never guess.
Marvin Gaye.
Well, yeah, they got a new album, Marvin Gaye.
I do remember that. Who else?
William Shatner.
Huh?
Star Trek captain.
He can't sing.
Captain Kirk. But do you know in the 60s he had a couple of albums out where he was the first rapper? He talked the songs.
The first white man to ever kiss a black woman on
TV. That's true.
Yep.
And he said that he fought for that because they didn't want to do it. And he's like, no, we're going to do it.
It ain't like she was an alien.
No. And he was kissing aliens all the time on that show. But they were like, oh, no, we can't have her. You kiss
Green
the censors.
Woman.
The censors were like, oh, no. And he was like, we don't kiss, then we don't do the show. Shatner made his Grand Ole Opry premiere. He went to the Grand Ole Opry.
He went to this version of the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
Started on WSM. That's the home of the Grand Ole Opry.
He got a song called Beam Me Up. Makes sense? That's what
I need to call Pookie and give me some of that medical marijuana. Beam me up.
Yep. And they said it's a nod to his catchphrase on the show and also to the whiskey.
Beam.
Jim Beam. Yeah. See, you never know. Anybody can make a record album. He made a couple of albums in the 60s. They were jokes, but he made them. So if you are a true Captain Kirk fan, you run out there and get that album. 562
Enterprise. Going through a warp speed. I've got no more power, sir.
I don't have any more. She's gonna break. She's gonna break stuff. Scotty, pull it all out. No, Captain, I can't do it. You can tell when we grew up.
Yeah.
I was telling you about the top 10 R&B of March 1971. Ooh. So let me go through and tell you who was in the top R&B of March 1971.
Is that according to Ebony Jet or that's according to
Billboard?
Billboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if it's Billboard, but a music aficionado has put it together, but he got it from a source. So then it's not in any kind of
1971?
1971.
Wait a minute. I bet I can give you at least 4 people.
Okay.
1971, the Dramatics is probably on there.
This is March. This is only 1 month. So the Dramatics may have been, but not in March.
Okay. They're on there.
Okay, well, that's 1971.
I'm telling you
March 1971.
I don't care.
I'm getting ready to tell you March. Name another artist that you think was top 10 in March of 1971.
Jackson 5?
No.
Temptations?
No.
Bobby Womack?
No.
71. Earth, Wind and Fire?
No, that's too early.
That's too early. 71. That ain't even, that's Afro time.
It's the beginning of Afro time.
Sly and the Family Stone?
No.
Well, damn. And that's the R&B chart?
This is R&B. You're going to be surprised when I tell you.
Emotions?
Nope. Emotions weren't out then.
Why they wasn't?
Not 1971.
They may have not hit the chart.
I would say 72 they were out.
Baby, they were singing they were singing
well,
before
they were singing gospel. Gospel.
Go ahead and read it, Miss Williams.
Okay. James Brown.
Okay.
Soul Power.
You got to have
Soul Power.
That's what we need.
Soul Power.
All right, let's go ahead.
Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Can we work it out? I mean, we can work it out. We can work it out. It was a Beatles song.
Marvin Gaye had to be on there.
Nope. Let me finish reading them. Because you know we're close. Aretha Franklin. Which song? What song of Aretha's?
I give.
You're All I Need to Get By.
A remake.
Yep.
An Atlantic Star doing a Motown song.
Right. You're All I Need to Get By.
Come on.
Jerry Butler.
Oh, only the strong survive.
No.
What?
If It's Real, What I Feel. I don't remember that one.
I do.
Okay, you want the next one?
Yeah.
Ann Peebles.
I can't stand the rain.
No. What? I Pity the Fool. And I don't even know that song.
Bobby Blue Bland made that famous. I Pity the Fool.
Okay. Is that where Mr. T got that from?
Yeah. I Pity the Fool.
Yeah.
Come on.
Santana.
Black Magic Woman.
Oye, come over.
I like this song. Never knew the name of it.
It's Oye, come over. He says it in this. Okay, never mind. Ray Charles.
What?
Go ahead. Try to guess. He had so many, though.
I don't even want to think about it.
Okay, don't change on me. I don't know that one.
Okay, one more.
I gave you this one earlier, Brenda and the Tabulations.
Right on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
That's the only hit they made.
Right. Those were the top in March of 1970.
You know what? That sounds so one-sided. I guarantee you, if you looked at...
March. Don't think 12 months, just March.
I'm telling you, March. I'm not angry. I'm just saying. That's Billboard, right?
I believe so.
Okay, Billboard never came in the hood.
Uh-huh.
Those are just guesstimations according to maybe guessing. Or it's two ways you rate a record back in those days. Record sales and airplay. Now, back then we had triple the record stores and distributors. But you could back then, come on, man. If the song was selling, that don't necessarily mean it was a hit, because a lot of people bought records just say they bought them. Now, compare that to March of 71 with Ebony Jet. Bet you it won't be the same thing.
Okay.
Are you done?
I'm through listening.
All right, good. Now, that's just one publication. Billboard. I keep telling you, Billboard didn't always get it right.
I'm not arguing with you. I just read off the list. Okay, you want to argue with the people, you call them up and you argue with them. I have a list. I said, Steve, you want to hear what Billboard said at the top? No.
There was Billboard, there was Cashbox, and there was Ebony Jet, and then there was, I'm forgetting someone. Anyway.
To add clarity, we contacted Mr. Ken Bedford, who worked for Ebony Jet in the 1970s and the Ebony Jet Showcase in the 1980s.
All right, I got my buddy Ken Bedford on. Ken, are you there?
I am. How you doing, Steve?
I'm wonderful, but I got this crazy coworker of mine over here.
Ken,
and you know what?
Just went off.
I had to, because she was telling me about March of 1971. Supposedly the number one songs in the month of March.
Right.
And when I mention the Dramatics, What You See, What You Get, what their biggest hit.
But I said it may not have been marked.
And I said, you know what? That don't mean Billboard did it right.
You said.
What we were talking about, Ken, is that every time something came out supposedly on Billboard as a chart, it was not always accurate. Because in our neighborhoods, with our record stores, in Chicago, there are hits that hit in Chicago and didn't hit anywhere else.
That's very true. There were artists, we would tell the artists like Smokey Robinson and James Brown, they would come to Chicago. And the DJs would say, hey, are you playing the tracks of my tears?
Right.
Which was the backside of a Fork in the Road, or vice versa. And the DJ, the local DJs, even around the country, would say, we're getting a lot of a reaction to this particular record. So the artists would, in turn, come to different towns and say, what is our hot records here? Mm-hmm. And then they would add those to the show. Mm-hmm. That happened a whole lot, but I did see that happen here. And to answer your question, Billboard was based on sales, but I don't think they charted a lot of the R&B artists. Like you wouldn't see Bobby Womack on Billboard's list, but it was Bobby Bland, Bobby Womack were big artists in urban America.
So right. How did they determine nationally?
And I'm only guessing here. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but I think because of what I mentioned before, that Bobby Womack and guys like Bobby Bland weren't charting on Billboard. I think they did kind of a national survey with DJs and, of course, some record sales. Probably, don't forget, we had one of the big black record distributors in Chicago, Ernie Lehner and Lehner Brothers. They distributed all of the black records throughout the country that came right from Chicago, right down on Michigan Avenue.
Right.
So I think they had their record row. I think they had their pulse on it. They could call it and say, Ernie Lehner, what's the top record selling? He may say, well, James Brown, da 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 da, and then they would make their list. But I don't think they coincided with a Billboard because there were too many artists that Billboard ignored.
After our conversation, I did a little bit of research. I compared Jet Magazine's Top 20 to Billboard's Top 20. I couldn't get the exact weekly dates for Jet's Top 20, so I searched for songs that appeared on both lists. I checked some archive pages of Jet on the internet, and I chose one for 1969. The Jet list appears to have come out around September or October of that year, according to when some of the same songs appeared on the Billboard list of October 13th. Actually, this was a pretty good week for black music on Billboard. There were 5 songs listed in the top 20. In fact, the number 1 song was by The Temptations, I Can't Get Next to You, followed by Sly and the Family Stone, Hot Fun in the Summertime, number 2. Marvin Gaye, That's the Way Love Goes, appears at number 7. The Fifth Dimension, Wedding Bell Blues, comes in at number 8. And number 16 was The Dells, the remake of their classic doo-wop song, Oh, What a Night. However, Jet's top 20 for around that same period included The Temptations at number 1 for I Can't Get Next to You, and again at number 11 with Message from a Black Man. But this list also includes James Brown. In fact, James Brown appears 3 times on the list with Let a Man Come In at number 3, Mother Popcorn at number 7, and World, World at number 15. The Jackson 5 make their appearance at number 13 for I Want You Back, along with Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight, Garland Green, The Originals, The Supremes, Isaac Hayes, and Nina Simone with Young, Gifted, and Black. And while a few of these artists did appear on the Billboard list during that period, they fell well below the top 20. And some like J.D. Kinney and the Diplomats, which appear at number 17 on the Jet list, may never have made it to Billboard. In 1991, Billboard added an R&B chart, which expanded the artists that they include. Jet Magazine, however, ceased publication in 2014. It is now distributed in digital format, and unfortunately, it no longer has a top 20 Soul Brothers list. You can see Jet Magazine's Soul Brothers Top 20 list archives by searching on the internet. The Billboard Top 100 list for various years can be found by searching Billboard Hot 100. This has been Back Cover, and I'm Karen Williams.